Hello everybody and welcome to the Sparkling Autos YouTube channel. So as the title of this one suggests, we're going to apply the Meguiar's Ultimate Liquid Wax both by hand and by machine. And the machine I'm using in this video is the Into Detailing DA8 Dual Action Polisher. So really what we're going to look at here are what are the advantages and disadvantages of both application methods, and do they really make any difference to the end result. The first thing we'll want to do then is obviously prepare the test area. So rather than use a test panel which is going to be stored in a shed or around the back of the garage somewhere, I'm actually going to use my own car, which is used on a daily basis, covers a lot of miles and real world conditions, as this will make the results more relative and may indeed help you decide which application method is going to be best for you. So as you've been able to see, the bonnet's completely flat, there's absolutely no protection, so let's get it prepped and we'll crack on with the test. Rather than waste too much of your time, I'm going to skip through a lot of the stages that aren't really relevant to this video. So I've done a full wash on the car, a full chemical decontamination, and I've lightly clayed the bonnet. I'm now going over once with a medium cut compound, no fillers, just a pure polishing compound, just to basically cleanse the surface, remove any light scratches and marring, just to give it a nice even surface for the wax to bond to. And the last stage then before applying the wax is to give the panel a final wipe down. You can use a designated panel wipe or use your own IPA mixture, which I'm doing here. This is just to cleanse the surface before actually applying the final product. To actually apply the product then, for the machine side I'm using the soft finishing pad from SGCB UK, and for the hand application side just a generic applicator sponge. And using the magic which is video editing, I'm going to apply both sides at the same time just to give you a direct comparison of how long it takes. Another thing to note if you're applying a liquid wax or any sort of protection really via machine is that you're not working the product into the paintwork, you're really just spreading it over it. So it's best really to move the machine relatively quickly and with the rotation at a slow speed. And there we are then, so after 30 seconds the machine application is complete. So that's one side of a large bonnet done. And now by comparison we'll see how much longer it takes to apply the same product to an area of equal size by hand. So there we are then, somewhere in the region of 15 to 20 seconds, which give or take is about 50% longer. Now obviously that time variation is going to change depending on the size and shape of the panel, but this is just to give a rough idea of the differences. However, I'll admit that I don't think this is a groundbreaking revelation that it's quicker to apply a product by machine and by hand, but I do find it interesting to see roughly how much of a difference it is. Now obviously I don't want a giant tape line down the centre of my car when I'm driving it about normally, so I'm going to remove the tape and just go over where the tape was again with the hand application. This isn't going to make any difference to the test. We clearly know that the machine application is on the right hand side and the hand application on the left. Meguiar's say to leave this product for 3 to 5 minutes before buffing it off, but I know from experience that it doesn't matter to leave it any longer than that. So I've left it for roughly 5 to 10 minutes and just ensured that it's dry enough, and I'm going to go around and buff the product off. And anybody who's ever used this or any of Meguiar's Ultimate Polish range will know just how much pleasure there actually is in buffing off these products. They're one of the easiest products out there to buff off. All Meguiar's products, no matter what anybody says or thinks about them, they're extremely easy to use, very user friendly, and a pleasure to work with. Once I'm happy that I've removed all the product, I've gone over it again with a really plush 1200 GSM microfiber towel. Two reasons for this: one, it picks up any remaining light bits of dust or anything left over from the buffing process, and two, the Ultimate Liquid Wax just leaves a really nice finish. Once all the buffing was completed then, the car was left to cure overnight, ready for a few water tests the following day. So as you'll see here over the next 30 or so seconds, I've attacked the bonnet with a variety of different spray patterns from the hose, whether it be a mist, a jet, just to see if there's any difference left or right, and unsurprisingly there isn't. Whether applied by hand or machine, the product has exactly the same effect on both sides of the car. And to be fair, for a product that's so easy to apply and to buff off, the results are actually pretty good. After 3 weeks of driving around then, it's time to give the car a quick maintenance wash and see what effect the road conditions and indeed the contact wash itself have on the product. More importantly, is there a difference between the hand and machine applied sides? The products I'm using, including the very well packaged and very easy to dispense shampoo that you just seen, are from a local brand here in Northern Ireland called ANTI-KINK Automotive. And if you're interested in finding out more about their products, just click the link below in the description. I would stress though that I'm in no way affiliated by ANTI-KINK Automotive. It's just their products I like using and I like to share good information. Before actually washing the car then, I want to give it a quick pre-rinse. This will remove any loose dust and debris from the bodywork. And it'll give us our first opportunity to see is the protection still actually doing anything. Which we can see it is to a small extent, so let's give it a clean up and see if we can declog it a bit further. The first product I'm using is a traffic film remover diluted at less than 1%, and after leaving that to dwell for 3 or 4 minutes, it was blanketed with a weak snow foam mixture at 30ml to 500ml total solution. So apologies for the brightness here, we'll get that adjusted in a wee second. So I'm letting these products dwell for around 5 minutes, which luckily for yourselves I'm going to shorten down to about 25 seconds. But just to highlight the importance of a good pre-wash routine is to break down most of the surface contaminants on the car. Therefore reducing the amount of effort you'll have to put in your contact stage, because at the end of the day it's the contact stage which is going to be most detrimental to whatever protection you happen to be using at the time. Rinsing the pre-wash products off then, and you begin to see the protection come back to life. As you can see, the bonnet's certainly shading water better than it was just after the pre-rinse stage. The last thing to do then is to give it a quick contact wash and finally reassess is there any difference between the hand applied side and the machine applied side. It might be a good idea to actually dip them in deeper into the wash bucket and get some suds on it before washing the car. There we go, that's better this time. Once we've done that, we can give the panel a final rinse and then assess the situation and see exactly where we stand with the protection. One thing to note here, whilst it may initially look as though there's more shading on the right hand side, we've also been pushing the water over to the left, so if we go to the other side, we notice a reverse effect. Basically the point I'm making is, there's absolutely no difference left or right. I'd also like to point out that this is in no way a longevity test of the Meguiar's Ultimate Liquid Wax. I've said before that this is a product which you're generally going to get, in my view, 3 to 4 weeks out of, but it doesn't really matter because it's such a nice product to apply. You don't mind applying it more often if it's your type of product. So just to summarise then, which I'm sure most of you will have guessed before even the start of this video, it makes absolutely no difference to the end result whether you apply this by hand or by machine. Some people are going to prefer the feel of applying the product by hand, others are going to prefer the practicality and speed of using the machine. But at the end of the day, it's entirely up to yourself. The end result will still be the same. And that's really all I have to say about that. I'd just like to thank you as always for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up if of course you enjoyed the video. In the meantime, thanks again and take care.